Greetings, everybody. Welcome to YouTube. This is G for G. I am your host, Napalm Dawn, as you would expect. And today we are going to be taking a look at a new closed beta version for Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux. And it is designated Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux Beta 5.9.1. This comes as a bit of a surprise to me. As for the internal testers, we have this new build to go ahead and take a look at. It has the Keys to the Kingdom feature that Goofy has been working on for Beta 6, where you need to go through the tutorial properly in order to get into the rest of the game and to set up Beta 6 to go ahead and give you the proper linear progress that you would expect from Marvel Avengers Alliance. In previous versions, because they were for beta testing, you had the ability to give yourself resources. You did not have to follow linear progression of going through Season 1, Chapter 1, Combat number 1, then 2, then 3, and then go on to the next chapter. You could skip around to your heart's content. Well, the tutorial Keys to the Kingdom, as it were, was one of the biggest things that Goofy had been working on for this, and now we have a version that the closed beta testers can go ahead and test. I have not run it yet. You can see it sitting there on my desktop below the BlueStacks X icon for further proof. Here is Redux 5.9.1 that I downloaded this morning. Goofy released it last night. There is the internal 5.5 and 5.6 directories. There is 5.9, which I'm going to be launching in just a few moments. And then there is beta 5.2.1, which is the last publicly available beta. 5.9 is not available to the public. It is for closed beta testers only. So unfortunately, you guys cannot get a link to this, but it is showing you that we are close to releasing beta 5.6 and that a lot of the up and down issues that had been happening with progressing towards beta 6 seem to be getting more stable. Myself and at least two others are going to be going through 5.91 testing it. Of course, on the Tuesday and Wednesday streams, we will now be shifting over to beta 5.9 to track that progress online. I chose not to stream this week because I needed a bit of a break. Things have been going on in the real life background over here that have been quite chaotic, and I just wanted a week to settle in, not have something grab a hold of my time and put me on a schedule and everything. I sort of wanted free reign over my week as much as possible, so I opted out of not doing the Tuesday and Wednesday streams. But we will definitely be back, as we have some very interesting things to go through. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Twitch at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we will be streaming the new 5.9 beta. And for those who have been in the comments of videos lately, people like Javier Noguera, who think that Beta 6 has been announced a year ago, which is absolutely not true. We were only getting 5.2 in August. As you could see there was the download date of Beta 5.2, and that was August of 23. We are now in June of 24, so Beta 6 has not been announced for a year. But for people who like to think that Beta 6 will never happen, or Beta 6 progress is not up to their speed and they're being impatient about it, I have one thing to say about that, and then we'll go ahead and get into testing 5.9 over here.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Okay, now that we got that business out of the way, let's go ahead and launch Beta 5.9.1. Now, I haven't been in this yet. I'm going to be starting a fresh save so that we could test the process going forward. I have moved my old saves over for testing purposes. However, for this video and for the streams, we will be doing a brand new save over here. I don't think I want to... Yeah, you don't need to put agent because agent is included there. So we're just going to say agent tester. Ooh, new intro. Oh, this is sweet. It's a little loud. Give me 1 second. I'm going to adjust the mix down for it a bit here. Since Windows does not know this version of Redux from the old versions. Sorry, we missed a few frames over there, but this is awesome. All right, so we get to go ahead and do our agent customization. In the past, yeah, actually, never mind that. Let's go with Slim Shady over here. There you go. I should. Oh, can I edit it? I can't edit it because I would have changed it to Agent Slim Shady or Agent Eminem over there. But okay, so that, oh my god, that is all right. We're going with it. Now, you know what? I think I'll still go with the goatee though. Just because this is, if you grew up with Knight Rider, there was like the David Hasselhoff Knight Rider character, but then David Hasselhoff would play the evil version of himself, and you knew he was the evil version because they would give him the goatee. The guy who would, I forget his name, he would, Garth maybe? And I think he would drive the truck that had the same coating on it that Kit had, where it was basically invincible, and I think his character was Garth. But okay, so this is Garth Eminem over here. It's evil Eminem. And as we get into this, again, I want to remind people this version is not publicly available. There's not going to be a mobile version of it. This is a very close stepping stone to Beta 6 if the testing of this goes well and we're not revealing major flaws in the code and everything. That is a good sign for Beta 6. I do not have an ETA as of yet. One has not been provided, so it's not like I know and I'm not telling you guys. We're not there yet, but this is super close and it continues to show off progress on it. So this is your typical AAA, very basic game. Press A to look left, press D to look right, W to move forward. That's what we're going through over here. I think I heard that you cannot, you can't get into the settings for a little bit during the tutorial. It's to keep you on rails, because remember, it's going to sound like an alien concept to some people, but there are people who are getting into Redux who have not played any of these games in the past. Ooh, epic overkill. That's cool. Damn, it has been so long, like I cannot actually remember what it was like to go through this tutorial back in the day, because I started with the Marvel Avengers Alliance Beta even before the game went live on like Facebook and the Playnom site and everything. You could get into it early if you happen to catch a specific episode of X-Play over on G4 TV when it was live. Alright, so free recruitment of Iron Man. By the way, that recruitment fanfare is still my text sound on my phone. When I get a lot of texts in a row, it actually starts to get a little annoying. But as a one-off, it's pretty cool. It's not. I wouldn't expect anybody around me to know what the fuck it is, but you know, it's still fun. So as I was saying, you have to remember that this tutorial may seem overkill to those of us who've played the game since 2012 and everything, but we are gaining new fans. I would like to shout out to Young Nagatsuni. He's one of the people who comes to my streams and watches the YouTube videos and everything. He is actually a Marvel fan that encountered this project and is playing the game as a first-timer, as a noob, so to speak. So, yes, tutorials and things like this are important because there are new fans to the project, and they need to be treated the same. If you could think of what it's like to get into Marvel Future Fight or Marvel Strike Force today, considering how tight those games are now, and all of the systems in those games, and all those characters, and the literal years and years and years of progress those games have made. Imagine if it just dumped you into the game, and you're like, what do I do? I think I remember that I used to hear that female Loki was a good universal recruit in Marvel Future Fight. How do I get Loki? How do I get female? These things are necessary, even to the people who are old bees, like us, or people who know the game front to back. Plus, everybody's save is getting reset going into Beta 6 anyway, so for everybody to have a tight, universal, and linear experience is extremely important, even if you think, man, I've done this a billion times already. Still super loud, so give me a second there. Eventually we'll be able to get into the settings and change that up a little bit. Back in the day, we didn't have any volume adjustments on the Facebook version. It was either on or off. You didn't have a music slider. You didn't have a here we go, a sound slider and everything like that. So this is a new feature to this is a new feature for Marvel Avengers Alliance. And it's super handy because I did not have any way of doing the volume when it was on the Facebook version. Now, eventually, if you remember, Facebook did that arcade thing where you could download a Facebook arcade and play a lot of your Facebook games through a local Windows executable. That one did have volume control, but the volume control for the Facebook version was your essentially the entire browser: Chrome, Firefox, Edge, IE, whatever. So if you wanted to lower the music and the sounds of the game, you were actually lowering your whole browser. And it got to the point where I had muted the music and then eventually muted the sounds for my videos, and I was doing my own YouTube soundtracks in the background. So I played the game for years without sounds, just because it became extremely tough to do videos with the very, very loud game sounds and music and everything. So we've recruited Black Widow for free. We were able to get into settings. So far, so good. There is now a post-combat speed over here, because the other betas were moving so fast, it was sometimes hard to find out exactly how good of a tub or team-up bonus you were setting. And now we have a ability to adjust that screen, that speed over there. So that is something new to Beta 5.9. So that shows you some of the progress that is being made towards Beta 6. And we're getting first-time features, new features and everything. Gonna open up with target focus. The buffs and debuffs now are extremely fast. I would say that is equivalent to the speed of the sped up version of Marvel Avengers Alliance back in the day on Facebook. If you remember, everything was slow for the first couple of years, and then they added the speed adjustment for in-combat speeds, and then that gave us the extremely rapid buffs and debuffs. If you wanted to see how things were going, you could turn it off, and you could watch your buffs and debuffs go if it was important to you, if you were trying to see if something landed. But mostly, if you just wanted to get through combat, going at top speed was best. And man, I gotta tell you, if this makes it into beta 6, the way that I'm playing 5.9 right now, I think you guys are gonna love it, because it feels like the other versions had been laggy, and this one isn't. It honestly feels like you've gotten a new computer, and you're playing a game that used to stress your old one out, and now you have a brand new one, and it doesn't stress your PC anymore. It sort of reminds me of playing, like, Unreal Tournament back in the day on my older PC, and then when I had upgraded it, how much better it felt. That's what this feels like right now. It honestly feels like I'm sitting in front of a way better computer than I have. And it's crazy because mine is not out of date by any stretch. Alright, so we've gone through a tutorial mission. We're now being led into buying a jet and staffing it with somebody, which will be Black Widow. It tells you, this is a tutorial now, telling you what good the jets are for. And it is saying that you can abort it, which is good. That has been a problem for some people. There's the cancel button. Timer overlay on this pop-up, and there's no X over here. But just having that cancel button is amazing. I don't want to visit any allies just in case I get led there through the tutorial, but I will do the daily spinner, because if I pick up a good weapon, oh, yeah. That's good. Still not... It would be nice if there was a tooltip over here. I mean, we kind of know what a bunch of these items are, but if somebody's new to the game, if there was a tooltip over here, I think that'd be great. I'm going to go ahead and equip that immediately. It is stronger than needle gun, which is pretty cool, because believe it or not, the needle gun lasted quite a bit at the beginning of the save. It is stronger than a lot of the stuff you can get in the store, unless you're getting a gold weapon. So for example, the needle gun tops out at about 30 damage. If you look at this one, well, actually, I stand corrected. Number of hits, 4. The Spirit 76 and the Uzi over here are actually stronger. Or is that a Mac 10? No, that's an Uzi. Because of the multiple hits. Oh my god, I think I did not notice that when I was going through the other betas. Okay, the retractable baton is definitely coming in as less damage, but the Psychic Strike is doing a little bit more on the top end. The Feral Claw is not, and that's actually a gold weapon. You get Bleeding and Ravage, but yeah, the needle gun is actually fairly well balanced in terms of being a good starter gun. Yes, it's worth getting melee or something with an effect, but if you have to sit on the needle gun for a while, it is pretty good. I'm going to check out research really quick. We don't have the resources for this yet, which is to be expected. So we will go ahead and let Black Widow run down her extra 20 seconds here. I could get into combat, which will shorten flight deck and research timers. But just in case, I'm going to let her run it down. She's only got about 5 more seconds left. We may as well wait. Alright, so we're going to collect. She talks about it, so that's a good piece of the tutorial right there. Okay. So we've got 2 gold, 42 silver, and we've got a little bit of other resources. Energy is good. Let's go to the mission, and let's see what we get. Typical task over here. Go ahead and defeat Hydra. Or, excuse me, go ahead and defeat Viper. Get a 1-star mastery. Yeah, that's why I let Black Widow sit. We would not have been able to get into combat without her, as we only have Iron Man and Black Widow. I was pretty much assuming we would not be given a temporary character for this, so it is good to wait. The tub screen was a little slow, so I'm going to jack it up a little bit. See if maybe 1.5 is a good sweet spot. We'll also try the new Butcher's Block. God, combat is... It's just really fast when you see these numbers go out. And how quickly they respond after somebody's getting hit. It truly, truly feels like you've upgraded your PC. Okay, holding the mouse button down on the tub screen does speed it up. So if you happen to have it on a slow speed, but for a particular fight, you're like, yeah, I know this tub, let's go. You can hold the left mouse button down, and it will go faster. It looks like selecting from the timeline bar up top is working pretty well. I will test it from down here on the HP on the next attack. Alright, so we'll do it from down here. Alright, so top timeline is working. Bottom health is working. Field clicks are working, so that's all good. Yeah, if you are a veteran, if you are somebody who's been playing this game for years and isn't new to this, doesn't need the tutorials and everything, the speed of combat is so fast, I don't think it's going to bother you. I don't think you're going to be like, man, I had to reset my save. I've been playing 5.2 for so long. I've got everybody. I think you will marvel at the updates to the game when Beta 6 drops, because this is so fast right now. It truly feels like, I don't want to say a different game, but it honestly feels like all of a sudden you've got more RAM, you've got a better CPU on your PC. It's just it's really greasy smooth. And when these debuffs and these buffs go by, like lock on and everything like that, if you're old hat at this, you know what's going to happen. You don't need to sit there and wait and watch it and everything like that. But if you are somebody who's newer to it and are still getting used to it and want to watch the effects and everything, you have that option. Yep, there you go. Hold the mouse button down, scroll it faster. The hidden... Ooh, we got the hidden blade. Oh, okay. That... Alright, so that bears a little bit of testing. The social feed is something new to Redux. It is more than just the characters you recruit. There's now actually going to be plot stuff appearing in your social feed when it comes to the chapters, the actual main story. You'll see a lot of in-universe characters and everything talking. There's a lot of organizations like News, Radio, Daily Bugle, Yankee scores and everything for the maps that are taking place in New York. So it is a really, really fun thing the team has added there, and it's some more immersion into the game. So we are not currently led on a new mission, so we're just going to go ahead and progress into the next one. so we haven't recruited Hawkeye, and we can't because Hawkeye does cost at least one command point over there, which we do not have. So I will go to visit my allies, collect the distress calls. Resources seem pretty fair. Collect all is lit up, as is the distress calls. Okay, good. So distress calls went away. That's perfect. That's good to see it working. I don't need to spend money on this because I don't have anybody to staff it, so I'm going to ignore it. Getting access to the inventory up there is working. We know the store is working. We cannot deploy Hawkeye for this because we don't own him as of yet. I do need to try to equip that Hidden Blade. That is a weapon that has bugged some of the older versions of the betas. So I need to get that tested out. What I've been doing now, my combat style has been to pick the enemy that is going later in the turn order and single targeting that one first. Because I know I'm not going to kill the first person in time. So why not aim at the second one and maybe get the kill before they even get an action. We'll use the needle gun to finish it off. Massive overkill. I feel like that's a little less damage than a massive overkill, but that's certainly cool. Okay, so the task here is not only to defeat him, but you also need to have 2 jets and have them staffed, which we know we can't do yet. So you could see some of the farming aspect starting there, and the need to progress through this game in a proper linear fashion. Here, this is telling us about how to go ahead and do the rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. You know, essentially the class wheel. Ooh, that was some spicy damage. Alright, so here's Hidden Blade. Seems to work just fine. It's stuck in my agent's hand. I feel like it should likely go back to the needle gun, but that's honestly... that is a minor point over there. We'll see if it goes back to the needle gun when I use it. Okay, cool, it does. They are... wow. They are really pounding on my agent on this one. This could be tough. Yeah, this might be an indicator that maybe moving on to Mission 2 over here is not the best idea. Now, Iron Man does have an advantage over here, and I think he will carry us to victory, as the physicist is not doing that much damage to Tony. But wow. Good for Tony to get that solo experience over there. Again, let's go with whoever is second. I should switch back to the Butcher Blade, as it is better overall, even though you do get bleeds out of it. But hit points are so low at this stage of the game, bleeds are not going to do that much damage. So it's probably better to get top-end damage rather than get debuffs. Alright, this combat is definitely going a lot better than the last one. However, I do need to watch to see if potentially my agent is taking too much single target there. Alright, so 3 minutes, 508. We definitely can do that. So what I'll do is I'll send Iron Man training. We will pause the video. Well, we'll do the finish now. I forgot. That's free. Alright, let's go ahead and get this back on. We don't have any ISOs to put on yet. So let's go ahead and get going with Whiplash over here. Now, this is going to be a problem. Black Widow's an infiltrator, and he is a scrapper, so we're going to see if the AI decides to go ham on Black Widow over here with Whiplash. Alright, again, going for the agent, but also splashed one onto Tasha. Yep, alright. Wow, that damage is low. Let's hit him with the AoE, so at least he's burning. Then we'll go back to the single target over there. Agent's doing good damage. Yeah, still going after Black Widow, kind of like we would expect. But I think we're going to get out of this combat without anybody dying. I feel like my agent should be able to polish this off, because this is a slashing attack and he is tenderized. The debuff screen over here looks pretty good. It's on top of people, not behind them. So you can see all the proper buffs and debuffs on them. There we go. Flash is down for the count. Counts as an overkill. I wouldn't mind if the tub stayed on screen until I cleared it. This way, no matter what speed the tub scrolled by, I could still take a look or maybe even take a screenshot at the end of it. Because remember, there are later moments where you have to do certain scores in order to pass a task or a quest. So to be able to screenshot that to help people out, I think that would be that'd be really good. So if we could get the tub to stick until you clear it, I think that would be great. So we did not complete that task because we do not have the second jet and we don't have somebody for it. So we will go ahead and end this video here. Things are definitely looking great. Combat is, I'm speechless on that one. It is so smooth and so fast. Actually, 150. Yeah, okay. We'll test some research over here. And then I think I'll maybe do grenades next. But yeah, combat is really, really fast. I think everybody's going to be pleased with it. And once people get Beta 6 and they've been playing, 5.2, 5.0, all the different 4 versions and everything, I think they're going to be super happy to see that speed, because they're probably going to want to go through it relatively quickly because they've done it a lot before. I feel like the jet is really tiny. I want to compare something with the jet size real quick here. Just want to take that. And I'm going to go back to 5.6 for just a split second, because I feel like that jet seems very small in its bay over there. Jets did need a little bit of help in coming after 5.6. If you maxed out your jets, there was a bug at the top level where the jets were unusable. And that actually goes and affects certain spec ops. You have spec ops and covert ops that have you do at least 3 jets, and when the jets don't work, you can't do it. Granted, this is a different jet. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm so used to these upgraded jets and their size there with the Blackbird and everything. But yeah, I wonder if that is maybe a little bit small. The rest of the helicarrier seems to be on point over there. The shield logo looks to be the same size. The bays seem to be the same size too. Yeah, I'll talk with the team and see if the jets are maybe a little bit tiny. But there you go, guys. There is beta 5.9.1. It is a really, really good precursor to beta 6. I cannot give an estimate as to how close beta 6 will be, considering how good beta 5.9 looks. The closed testers are providing bugs to the coding team as we speak. It actually started last night. Not too many so far, but there have been like one or two. So the reason why things have taken so long with beta 6 is they really want to make sure they put out an extremely workable product. The Goofy has been extremely hard at work on making sure that top to bottom beta 5.6 looks and feels a lot like what the final version of the game will be. How many betas will be after 6? I don't necessarily know. There could be a 7 that has chapter 2 content and then the final version is released. I don't really know. We haven't talked about that final structure there, but I do believe it is safe to say 6 would be all season 1 content with some surprises, and then beta 7 may have season 2 content, and then the final version will have 1, 2, and maybe even some of the new content the team has got planned and everything. So, can't wait for you guys to see more videos on 5.9. Come to the streams, check it out directly, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the future.